CBS Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
If you're ready for this season opener, then so are we. The Atlanta Falcons have won the toss. They have elected to receive, and that is number 32, Jarius Norwood. Pretty good kick returner a season ago. The Falcons will try to get him as many touches as they possibly can. Ready to kick it away for the Dolphins, Dan Carpenter, and we are underway in Atlanta. This is a short kick. This is going to come down at about the 15-yard line. And bringing it back close to the 30-yard line is Eric Weems. The Falcons quarterback, Matt Ryan, Matty Ice, as he is affectionately called in these parts, 16 touchdown passes in his rookie season last year. And what a magical year that was for the Atlanta Falcons as they tried to leave all kinds of worries behind them, Dan.
And no team, no city needed the year the Falcons delivered for this franchise like they did last year. Much appreciated.
On first down, Michael Turner, and not very much at all for Turner as he barely got back to the line of scrimmage. The offensive line up front for Matt Ryan: Baker, Blaylock, McClure, Harvey Dahl, Tyson Clabo. Wide receivers and running backs, potent weapons in Michael Turner and Roddy White, and added to the mix this year, the all-everything tight end, Tony Gonzalez. No gain on the first play from scrimmage, and it's 2nd and 10. This is Gonzalez in motion, and Ryan to throw his first pass of the season, and that's complete to the 35-yard line to Gonzalez.
Surprise.
Let's check the Miami defense. A look at their 3-4 unit. Langford, Ferguson, Starks up front. The linebackers, longtime Dolphin Jason Taylor returns after a season in Washington to join Crowder, Ayadel, and sack specialist Joey Porter. And the Dolphins are excited about their rookie cornerback, 6'3", 214-pound second-round pick Sean Smith out of Utah. On 3rd and 3. From the shotgun, Ryan gets time, crossing pattern, complete across the 40 to the 42-yard line is Jarius Norwood for an Atlanta first down.
And I think we just saw some of the benefits of having Tony Gonzalez, because Tony Gonzalez can run so well that when he goes down the middle of the field, he takes the safeties with him. And that's what he did on that last play, and Norwood can come out underneath, and there's a totally vacated area because of number 88.
That's 132 straight games with a reception. At least one reception for Tony Gonzalez. First down, Atlanta at their own 43. Turner, left side, across the 45 to about the 47. Ayadel and Joey Porter combining for the stop.
This is a very talented offensive line for the Atlanta Falcons. Now, they haven't sprung Michael Turner for a whole lot yet, but this group plays with an edge, an attitude, a bit of nastiness. And if we get through today without number 73, Harvey Dahl, and Joey Porter locking up, I'll be surprised.
This is Norwood straight ahead. The first time today we see the Wildcat, and it's from the Atlanta offense to the 49-yard line.
Well, they ran it last year as well, because Norwood is a guy that's kind of like Ronnie Brown, capable of doing so many different things. You see Matt Ryan was just spaced out just to the right of Norwood. The Falcons, I think, were ran the Wildcat the 3rd most in the league last year, so no one ran it nearly as much as Miami, but they do have a background with it.
Ryan on 3rd down, pulls it down, rolls, and that's incomplete, and the penalty marker flies. Justin Peel was the intended receiver. Will Allen hit him before the football got there.
Well, Will Allen was within a half a second of timing.
Pass interference, 25, defense, Ball placed at the start of the foul.
He tried to arrive there at the exact moment of the football, and he got fooled a little bit because there's not a doubt that he got there early. You can't come through the back of the receiver like that. I think that Allen's intentions were good, his execution a little less so.
So the Falcons now into Miami territory, first down at the Dolphin 49. Roddy White in motion to the top of your screen. The fake to Turner. Ryan with time, going deep, has a man, and it's incomplete at the 10-yard line. White was the intended receiver.
And they got the matchup they wanted against the rookie Sean Smith. Max protection, giving Ryan all the time in the world, and they get Roddy White. There he is, a single coverage. He turns the rookie around, and Matt Ryan misfires on a sure touchdown for Atlanta. Sean Smith, the second-round draft pick, right there, bit on the move by Roddy White. That should have been 6.
2nd and 10. Ryan short one over the middle, and this one is complete to Norwood. And Norwood very close, right at the first down marker at the 39-yard line. It is a first down.
I know Michael Turner is the man, and you know he carried the ball 376 times last year, but every time this guy, 32, Jarius Norwood, touches the football is a plus for the Atlanta Falcons. He is explosive.
How many times did we hear the Falcons say home run when they talk about Jarius Norwood?
And it's because he's one of those guys. He's just one missed tackle away from going all the way.
On first down, Ryan still with the football, throws near side. That's complete at the 35-yard line to Michael Jenkins. Inside the 30 to about the 28. And that's another first down.
Well, right now, Mike Mularkey, the offensive coordinator, is getting everybody involved. Nice little rollout here, a little bootleg coming offside by Matt Ryan, and look how effectively he delivers the ball. But again, now he's got Michael Jenkins, the big receiver, in the game. Turner's been involved. Norwood's been involved. Almost a touchdown to Roddy White. Gonzalez has been a key part, all so far on the opening drive.
The give now to Turner. Turner looks for running room and is inside the 25 to the 24-yard line.
This was a pretty well-balanced offense even before Tony Gonzalez got here. There is Mike Mularkey. And man, you know, some offensive coordinators have it better than others. And Mike Mularkey, he's got a lot of buttons that he can push from up there in the booth. Mike Smith has to be really pleased with the offensive balance that this team is enjoying right now.
No one in the league scored more first quarter points last season than the Atlanta Falcons did. Ryan to throw on second down up the middle and overthrows Gonzalez. It'll be third down.
Well, Matt Ryan got whacked. Philip Merling really planted Matt Ryan at the end of this, and I don't think he got a chance to really get into this throw the way he would have liked. I think the pressure right here, Matt Ryan is, well, he got into it a little, but I don't think he was able to take the stride that he would have liked to deliver an accurate pass. That's twice so downfield. There's been an open guy.
11th play of this drive. Ryan knocked down inside the 20-yard line by the rookie Sean Smith. That one intended for White.
Smattering of boos from the crowd, thinking Sean Smith might have interfered with White. That's just, look at that. That's just good. That's good work by a rookie corner. That's good work by a veteran corner. Again, Matt Ryan takes a big shot just as he releases, and for the second time in a row, it was Philip Merling.
So now Jason Elam from 42 yards out. Kick is on the way. He missed it. He had made 15 in a row from 40 to 49 yards. That one just barely missed. Tony Sperano's team survives the first drive of the season. It'll be Miami football at their own 20 when we come back to Atlanta. This is Jason Elam's 17th NFL season. Last year was the best of his career with a 93.5 field goal percentage. And missed for him what is usually a chip shot from 42 yards out. Here's Ronnie Brown straight ahead on the first play from scrimmage. The Miami quarterback is Chad Pennington. He set a Dolphins single season record last year, completing 67% of his throws as the Dolphins went from 1-15 to 11-5. An amazing turnaround for this franchise. Brown again behind Pennington on second down from their own 35. Brown again, and not much running room there, maybe a couple. Up front for the Dolphins, back at left tackle, last year's #1 pick overall, Jake Long, joined by Smiley, Grove, Thomas, and Carey. The backs and the receivers include number 23, Auburn University product Ronnie Brown, instrumental in Miami's Wildcat offense. 3rd and 5 from the 37. Pennington under pressure, lost the football on the ground. Who's got it? The Falcons say they do.
We got it.
We have no call yet, and now we do. The rookie, the first-round pick out of Mississippi, Parade Jerry on the football.
And so uncharacteristic for Chad Pennington to be a little reckless with the football. He can feel that pressure. He can see Bierman coming in from the side. And there you see the ball get scooped up from down below. Chad just overstayed his welcome in the pocket. And that was not a blindside hit as Bierman got around right tackle Vernon Carey.
And let me correct, it was Jonathan Babineau who had the fumble recovery. Only 13 turnovers by the Dolphins all last season. He registered one, and here's Michael Turner right side. Penalty marker flies as he's tripped up at the 30-yard line.
Got a pair of flags down on the field.
Walt Coleman is our referee today.
Illegal use of hands in the face, 78 defense, holding 77 offense. Those penalties offset, first down.
Chad Pennington on the side, as we mentioned. Only 13 last year, tied for the Giants for fewest. That's almost unbelievable, isn't it?
It is extraordinary. And to think the two teams did it in the same season, less than a turnover a game in the National Football League or even NCAA college football. It's an extraordinary number to take care of the football that well.
So Turner is the deep back behind Ryan. First down from the 37. Ryan to throw. Over the middle. And that is incomplete at about the 17-yard line, intended for Jenkins.
And so far, Matt Ryan on his downfield passes has not been sharp. Remember, he missed Roddy White, he missed Gonzalez, and this ball is well behind Jenkins. And he's trying to slide in and stop and cease his momentum, but there's just no way. That was a big misfire.
Behind him and short. 2nd and 10. Quick pass this time to the outside, and that is complete inside the 30 to the 30-yard line. Roddy White.
Oh, and here's a really late flag coming in. This one came in around the middle by the numbers way after the play was over. I don't know if the official couldn't get out of his pocket or if it happened after the play.
After the play was over, personal foul, 63, offense, 15-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Well, as Walt Coleman told us, it was after the play. Justin Blaylock, the left guard. I told you early on they play with an edge right there in the middle of the screen. Channing Crowder is just standing there and gets dropped.
That looked like it was Todd McClure, the center.
They were both there together, and McClure and Blaylock were side by side, and the referee decided to tag it on Blaylock. But you're right, McClure was right there. I told you they play with an edge. That's an edge.
3rd and 18. Deep drop for Ryan. Time running out, and he throws it away. And gets smeared in the process. And onto the field comes Kanan, the punter.
Well, right now, Tony Sperano has got to be thrilled with the pass rush that his defense has been putting on Matt Ryan. Because Matt Ryan has had to pick himself up and dust himself off a whole bunch, and we're just halfway through the first quarter.
Look at that number. 49 punt return yards allowed by the Atlanta Falcons all last season. Devon Bess. Fair catch ball and made the 11-yard line. It's been a tough day so far for Matt Ryan, Dan.
Yeah, they hope that this doesn't continue, but Matty Ice has been in the grinder.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest. Ready when you are. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on. Verizon Wireless, America's largest mobile-to-mobile calling family. And by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
Welcome back, everyone, as you get a glimpse of the Georgia Aquarium, the world's largest aquarium. Among other things, home to 4 whale sharks. The only place outside of Asia where you find them.
Moving underwater, that's about what you feel like about the 3rd week of training camp.
Ronnie Brown in the backfield as the Dolphins start with a pass. Pennington outside and hit immediately after the catch is Ronnie Brown by Stephen Nicholas, 3rd-year linebacker out of the University of South Florida. Check the Atlanta defense. The 4-3. Miami's big concern, number 55, John Abraham, 16.5 sacks a season ago. You saw Stephen Nicholas make that play. He's alongside 2nd-year linebacker Curtis Lofton. They're joined by the veteran Mike Peterson. The very young secondary shored up a week ago with the signing of veteran cornerback Brian Williams. And now Ricky Williams in the backfield for the Miami Dolphins. Pass to the near side. That is complete and out of bounds close to the first down marker is Ted Ginn.
Well, this Atlanta defense that we talked about has been so retooled and at really key positions, but both outside linebackers are new. Mike Peterson came over from Jacksonville. Of course, Mike Smith used to be the defensive coordinator there. Loves the guy. And we just saw 2 plays ago that Stephen Nicholas, the new strong side linebacker. He's been in here in Atlanta, but this is his first year as a starter, as both Michael Boley and Keith Brooking have moved on to the Giants and Dallas respectively.
You said it at the top of the show, Dan, a retooled Atlanta defense. This is Ron Brown. Doesn't quite reach the 25-yard line. Lofton and Peterson converge. Also, another guy that Mike Smith is very familiar with, Brian Williams, signed just a week ago and started at cornerback today.
Well, the only way that could happen is this way, because Brian Williams played in Jacksonville as well and knew this system from Mike Smith. So Williams signing on Monday, starting on Sunday, tough to do. You got to know the system to pull that off.
2nd and 8 for the Dolphins. Quick pass, that's complete to Bess. And Devon Bess to about the 27. Abraham making the stop.
John Abraham, what a game killer he can be. You didn't talk to anyone on the Miami Dolphins where they didn't say, if 55 has his way, we will not be able to move the football. This guy, you know, he and Chad Pennington drafted together in the first round by the New York Jets back in 2000. Both on separate teams, now going head to head.
3rd and 5. Straight drop for Pennington. Looks one way, throws the other, and that is caught by Devon Bess and enough for a first down.
Well, the one-on-one matchup that we'd like to follow all day is Jake Long, the first pick in the draft last year, when he singled up against John Abraham. And look at the good hands and the arm strength by Long as he just runs Abraham all the way around the corner. Abraham, no way he can fight up and through a guy that's 6'7", 320. Jake Long has good feet for a man his size.
Both Ronnie Brown and Ricky Williams in the backfield now on first down. He gives to Ricky, and Ricky has running room across the 45 out to the 47-yard line, and another Miami first down.
Well, when Ricky Williams took this handoff from Chad Pennington, he must have thought this was Friday practice. Look at that hole. You don't expect to see something like that during the game. What a great job by Jake Grove and Donald Thomas and Vernon Carey there on the right side.
14-yard pickup. The Dolphins now out to their own 47. Same twosome in the backfield. This time the give is to Williams. This side, trying to turn the corner. May have gained a yard, but not much on the play. Has your fantasy football league website let you down? Still time to upgrade to the award-winning Fantasy Football Commissioner. Get a special offer and help moving your league at cbssports.com/upgrade.
But this is a Tony Sperano, Dan Henning drive. Mostly on the ground, chewing up clock, letting your defense get some rest. Conservative, but physical.
Devon Bess in motion on 2nd and 8. Pennington steps up in the pocket, now on the move, looking and throws, complete to Bess. Bess to the 47 of the Falcons, where it'll be 3rd and about 5. 3rd and 4, let's make it.
And right now, Chad is having trouble finding open receivers downfield. You got to give some kudos to the secondary of the Falcons. They're doing a pretty good job of covering up the Miami wide receivers and tight ends downfield.
And if there is a question mark about this Falcon team this year, it is a very young defense.
That's exactly right. But so far, they've been forcing Chad to move around and look for options. One of them already turned into a turnover.
3rd and 4. Pennington goes down. John Abraham.
Well,
and a penalty marker is down.
We saw Abraham try the outside shoulder on Jake Long. This time he went for the bullseye.
Holding, 77, offense. The penalties decline, 4th down.
When I say the bullseye, I mean he's going right for the middle of Jake Long's chest. Watch that. That is a bull rush. Long clearly playing Abraham going upfield. Shocked, surprised, and bowled over by John Abraham, who then finishes off his old teammate. Wow, what a play by John Abraham.
With the injury to Harry Douglas, Eric Weems is the punt returner this season. And this is his first NFL punt return, and he fair catches at the 11-yard line. Stops the clock on the field. 1:04 remaining here in the first quarter of a scoreless game. On Tuesday, September the 22nd, after NCIS, see why critics call NCIS Los Angeles one of the can't-miss series of the fall. Chris O'Donnell, an LL Cool J star in NCIS Los Angeles, only CBS. Greg Gumbel, Dan Deerdorf, the rest of our CBS Sports crew back here at the Georgia Dome in Atlanta.
Well, Jake Long right now realizes one thing. He can't just play John Abraham as a speed rusher upfield. John just showed him something. He's got game in all directions, upfield, in the middle, and crashing inside.
On first down here is Michael Turner, and Turner not much there.
We talked a little bit earlier about Matt Ryan and his problems going downfield. He's been accurate on the short stuff. He misses Roddy White on a sure touchdown there. Then it's Tony Gonzalez as he's running a skinny post. And then way below and behind Michael Jenkins, who tries to slide across the field and make the catch. I I've got a feeling that Matt Ryan would love to throw one downfield and have the ball go exactly where he aims it.
This Atlanta team, second in the league in rushing last season, but they've thrown the ball 10 times in 15 offensive plays. Turner again, right side, running room, 20, and out to the 21-yard line. And that could be enough for a first down. It is. And it appears that the final seconds will run off to end a scoreless first quarter. The Falcons had their chances, but we are scoreless at the end of one, and we'll come back to Atlanta right after this. You're watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 44.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by New York Life, the company you keep. And by the new stuffed crust pan pizza from Pizza Hut, America's favorite for pizza, pasta, and wings.
They do dress for the game here in Atlanta. Welcome back, everyone. Started the second quarter. Matt Ryan and the Atlanta offense from their own 21-yard line. Turner once again. And doesn't get a chance to bounce after he hits.
And I think, Greg, we're looking at one of the stories of the first quarter. Matt Ryan attempted 10 passes in the first quarter, and that's because Michael Turner only carried the ball 5 times in the first quarter. And I don't think I'm not sure those are the ratios that they're looking for, a 2-to-1 deal in terms of passing to Michael Turner running. Mike Smith, I think, would much more like to see Michael Turner and this running game break loose. Credit to Dolphins, they're stuffing it.
Here it comes again, left side. Bumps off a tackler and out to the 27, and here comes a late flag. Michael Turner led the league last year in yards after contact and broken tackles. Here's Walt Coleman.
Holding, 84, offense, 10-yard penalty, still second down.
Penalty is on the wide receiver, Roddy White.
We asked Roddy White if he was a good blocker. He said, I'm a very good blocker.
He said, I block hard.
Yeah, he said, you think Michael Turner gets 1,700 yards without wide receivers blocking? And he makes a good point. Every good rushing team, you know, a team like the Steelers and a guy like Hines Ward comes to mind. You've got to have good blocking by your wide receivers.
Jarius Norwood now in the Atlanta backfield on 2nd and 18. Ryan on the post has his man across the 35 to the 37, and that's Michael Jenkins for a first down.
And Michael Jenkins made a nice adjustment on that ball. My first glance, I thought it was low, and he had to go back and scoop. No, actually, you know what? I take that back. Matt Ryan dropped it right in there. He saw the safety coming from the right and put it low so Jenkins could go down and get it. He saw Jabril Wilson coming in for the big hit. Outstanding throw by Matt Ryan.
Turner back into the backfield. First down, Atlanta, their own 38-yard line. The play fake to Turner. Ryan on the move. Sideline pass is complete and out of bounds at midfield to Roddy White.
Great job of coming back to the football to help out your quarterback. This is the way an NFL receiver runs his route. Okay, right here, you're going to break it off. Don't just stay parallel. Come back upfield. Come back to the football. Come back to your quarterback and make it easier for him to deliver a ball. That was big-time work by Roddy White and excellent work with the feet.
Another Atlanta first down. Joey Porter in on Michael Turner.
Well, the Miami defense talked a great deal about having to control Michael Turner because Michael Turner's he's the kind of a guy that semi-scares you. You know, when you've got legs and power and speed like this guy, you command respect, and that's certainly what he's getting from the Miami defense. Look how they're swarming. They're not trying to rely on one guy making the tackle. They are coming in bunches. They got tired of hearing about his yards after contact.
Ryan in a hurry and throws it behind Turner coming out of the backfield.
Well, that's one of those where there's no precise route. Michael Turner's just trying to get out and maybe become an option, and Matt Ryan's not 100% sure whether he's going to zig or zag.
You know, we talked about John Abraham with the 16.5 sacks a year ago. Joey Porter had 17.5.
You'd have to think the Joey Porters were going to really benefit from having Jason Taylor over on the other side this year.
Jenkins in motion. Ryan with time and throws and hits inside the 40-yard line. Roddy White. That's another Atlanta first down.
And another excellent job by Roddy White of running a good pattern, but making sure that he runs it exactly long enough to pick up the first down. He knew he had to get just beyond the 40-yard line, and he gives himself about a yard cushion. White came off the field. He took a pretty good shot. He appears like he's okay.
In on the coverage for Miami, the rookie first-round draft pick out of Illinois, Vontae Davis. On first down. Here's Turner. And Turner wrapped up at the 36. Dan, there's always a bit of excitement when we get the first NFL Today report of the season from JB. James.
Greg, good to hear your voice. You know, Dan Dierdorf said he was this quick and elusive in high school. Take a look at Carolina's D'Angelo Williams, first and goal from the 11. He takes to the pay dirt. He had 18 rushing touchdowns last season. 7-3 Carolina over Philly late in the first. Back to Greg and Dan.
JB, he is not as quick, but he is just as elusive.
I'll send you some highlight reels. They'll never make error.
2nd and 9. Turner looking for running room right up the middle and is bottled up at the 35. Once again, hard-working James Brown earlier in the season, JB.
Greg and Dan, I know you guys know all about Joe Flacco. Talk about a poised quarterback. Take a look here. Moving to his right, then coming left, finally hooking up with Willis McGahee. A little 3-yard toss. This kid, poised, talent, team-oriented. He's outstanding. 10-0 Ravens on top of Kansas City. Back to Greg Gumbel and Dan Dierdorf.
All right, JB, we spent the last couple of days talking with people about Joe Flacco and Matt Ryan.
Yeah, I asked Matt Ryan, do you ever want to hear your name in a sentence without Flacco?
Ryan throwing. That is complete to the 20-yard line. Tony Gonzalez. And that's an Atlanta first down.
Well, and Matt Ryan is now really settling down. He is starting to deliver accurate passes. They are going right onto the hands of his intended receiver. This is a good example right there. That's pretty darn good coverage. Jabril Wilson is all over Tony Gonzalez. He's got his hands in there. He's got his arm across in front, but a perfect pass. And to a guy like Gonzalez, that's going to be a completion.
Ryan now 9 out of 15 for 105 yards. Norwood in the backfield on first down from the Miami 20. Ryan to throw. Over the middle. Oh, what a catch inside the 5-yard line by Tony G.
You don't have to say a word. This replay is simply this. He is what he is. What hands. Folks, that's how you get a bust in Canton, Ohio.
Matt Ryan says when he goes up for a ball, it's like he's rebounding in basketball. And he was an excellent one in college. Ryan to throw, end zone, touchdown. The first touch all day by the fullback, Obi Mihaly, is a touchdown catch.
Well, look at the great play action fake to Turner, who then goes in and makes a block, creating a passing lane for Matt Ryan to find Mihaly.
Extra point is good. Obi Mihaly, every bit an Atlanta Falcon, and Matty Ice comes back, leads the Falcons to the first score of the game. Number 88, Tony Gonzalez, making the key reception in a 14-play, 89-yard drive. And look at Ryan's numbers on that drive. 6 of 7 for 83 yards and the touchdown pass to Obi Mahaley, who scores his first touchdown since he was with the Baltimore Ravens back in '06. A yard deep in the end zone is Ted Ginn. Can't get past his own 15-yard line as the Falcons swarm him, led by Eric Weems. We told you about that Gonzalez catch. Worth another look. It helped the Falcons to a 7-0 lead. Hey, a reminder to sign up today for the only free fantasy league that is The League, with live scoring, video, and more. You could also win exclusive prizes like a trip for 2 to Super Bowl 44. You want NFL fantasy? Play NFL.com free fantasy. Dolphins from their own 14-yard line, and the pitch for Ricky Williams trying the left side. And a helmet goes rolling out to about the 25.
Ricky Williams still has a little finish in him. Did you see the way he finished that run? Michael Turner isn't the only guy on this field, or Ronnie Brown for that matter, who has power. Ricky Williams still has a lot of juice.
There's Michael Turner on the sideline.
And a story in this game so far, they cannot get him loose. They had a scoring drive, but he's got 10 carries, only 24 yards. 2 yards a carry is not going to cut it.
This from the second leading rusher in the league last year. Pennington. This time, over the middle, has his man across the 30 to the 34-yard line. Ted Ginn.
Well, Ted Ginn is one of the fastest players in the National Football League. And right here in this Atlanta zone, the guy that's going to get close enough to him trying to make the play there is middle linebacker Curtis Lofton. But he makes a good adjustment to his route, breaks it off right into the soft spot of that zone. And Lofton had taken such a deep drop that Ginn was able to get in front of it.
And Pat White now onto the field with the Wildcat for Miami. Ronnie Brown fakes, keeps it up the middle, and goes to about the 38. White, the quarterback, was flanked as a receiver.
Well, the Atlanta Falcons all week were wondering whether or not Pat White was going to be the third quarterback. You can see Ricky Williams coming in motion right there. Pat White was split out down at the bottom. And again, Pat White is going to be part of this Wildcat package. You didn't invest a second-round draft choice in another quarterback when you already had Chad Henne, who most people think is going to be their quarterback of the future.
This time he's in the quarterback position. I'm going to run it left side behind the fullback to White and get buried at the line of scrimmage.
Well, Pat White had an extraordinary collegiate career at West Virginia. The guy could, he's a southpaw, and he's got a good arm. I don't know that he's really an accomplished passer by NFL standards, but he can scoot, he can run, and as you can see right there, not afraid to air it out. And that's the dimension of the Wildcat that they're hoping he adds to it. Ronnie Brown had a touchdown pass last year. Needless to say, White's a more accomplished passer than Ronnie Brown.
Pennington back into the lineup on 3rd and 6. Throwing far side of the field, nobody there, and threw it away. First incompletion of the day for Pennington, and Miami will kick it away.
And you're right, that was a total throwaway. That ball went all the way back well into the bench area, and that's the Chad Pennington we know does not take a chance. Backed up. He will let the punter come on the field and let the defense do their thing.
Seams back across the 20 out to about the 23, 24-yard line. That's where Atlanta will go to work with 5:22 to play in the first half. Atlanta leads it 7-0. Welcome back, everyone. Tonight on 60 Minutes, President Obama at a critical moment in his presidency, one-on-one with Steve Kroft, plus Senator Ted Kennedy. His life, in his own words, on an all-new 60 Minutes tonight. 5 minutes, 22 seconds remaining. The Atlanta Falcons putting together 2 fairly decent drives so far today.
But they've had to do it through the air. Their ground game has pretty much been stale.
26 rushing yards all told to give to Michael Turner. And Matt Ryan has been able to step it up a notch.
Well, where he had some misfires early on in the first quarter, in this drive he was just perfect. That time on the sidelines to Roddy White, then Tony Gonzalez across the middle. That one right there by Gonzalez was special. Of course, Mahaley was wide open for the touchdown, but again, Matt Ryan really cranked it up a notch.
Penalty markers fly on the snap of the ball. Here's Walt Coleman going to consult with his guys and find out who did what.
Offside, 99, defense, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Jason Taylor.
Yeah, Jason was trying to guess the snap count and guessed poorly. And it hopped all the way across the line of scrimmage at the snap.
Jason telling us last night that he's playing at a heavier weight than he's ever played at.
10 or 15 pounds heavier. Well, he's playing the strong linebacker now. He needs that extra weight.
Turner. And Turner bottled up at the 31-yard line.
Nice play by Jason Taylor. He jumps around the block. Here's a little agility for you. You think you're a pretty good athlete? Give this a try. Watch him jump around the block right there and then come back in and able to get in on Michael Turner from behind and get a solo tackle. Well done by JT.
3rd and 2. Ryan with time, throws incomplete. Gonzalez, the intended receiver, and Jabril Wilson with the cover.
Well, Miami really feels they upgraded at free safety when they were able to pick up Jabril Wilson. He got a little bit of a shot in on Gonzalez. That appeared to be well beyond the 5-yard area. But hey, when you're going to play a guy like Gonzalez, you're going to take chances. Sometimes you'll get called. That time he didn't.
So Kanan in to punt it away. And this is Devon Bess. Get a chance to return it from his own 29. Sidesteps one tackler, but not the second one. He's down at the 35. Stephen Nicholas with the stop. We're coming back to the Georgia Dome in just a moment. 7-0 Falcons.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the Ford F-150. It's not just a pickup truck, it's a Ford F-150. FedEx, we understand your business could use a Dick Butkus pep talk. Go to FedEx.com/pep talk. And by Valvoline, guaranteeing your engine for up to 300,000 miles. Register at Valvoline.com.
Oh, with under 4 minutes to play here in the first half, the Miami Dolphins trying to make some headway on offense. First drive ended in a Chad Pennington fumble. They have kicked twice since. They start now from their own 36-yard line. In motion, Ricky Williams with the handoff across the 40 out to about the 42-yard line, maybe the 43.
And one of the rare exceptions where Miami has run the ball effectively on first down. This Atlanta defense has really done a good job of throttling Miami offensively. Before that play, they only had 63 yards offense. And we talked about the Miami defense and how they're taking Michael Turner out of it. The guys in red here have taken both aspects, running and passing, away from the Dolphins.
And now Pat White in at quarterback. Ronnie Brown, Ricky Williams join him in the backfield. 3 guys who can really run with the football back there. White takes the snap, fakes the handoff. He's going to throw it deep down the middle and way overthrows his intended receiver, Ted Ginn. Ted Ginn is fast, but he's not quite that fast.
Well, they got exactly what they wanted out of this. The fake froze the safeties. Ted Ginn has a step or two on everybody, and Pat White just launches one. Talk about adrenaline. Houston and Deku are just in a trail position, and Pat White I'm not sure he overthrew anybody that badly in college. And Ted Ginn, one of the fastest guys in the league. That's hard to do.
3rd and 3 now. Pennington back and taking the snap. Looking outside, throwing, complete inside the 45-yard line to Greg Camarillo. Or did he drop it?
Well, it's an official on site. Camarillo bobbles the ball. At first, it didn't. I'm not sure if it hit the field or not. It's on.
It never hit the ground.
I'm not sure that it ever did.
I don't think it hit the ground at all. But there is no challenge. No, the flag is out. Tony Sperano has thrown the flag on the far side of the field. And the officials just see it.
Well, and at this time of the first half, where you can still challenge it outside the 2-minute warning, that's a good play by Tony Sperano, because when I saw it in live action, I didn't think it touched the field.
Miami is challenging the ruling on the field that the pass was incomplete.
You could read Tony Sperano's lips where he said to the official, I think he caught it.
And Camarillo got up and ran with it. Check it out. It's on the leg, on the calf, on the ankle, and on the hand. I don't think it hit. Welcome back to Atlanta. We're going to give you the look that Walt Coleman's looking at, and I think it's pretty definitive. Watch this football bounce off the legs of Greg Camarillo, and we're going to be able to see space right there. Watch the ball as actually going to start to go back up, and there he gets it with his hand, and look at the space between the ball and the field. I don't think there's any question that that's a legitimate catch. Chris Houston, number 23, ought to be watching the football instead of playing official by ruling it incomplete. Houston could have been flagged for interference. He was really preventing Camarillo from coming back to the football.
If the ruling goes as we think it's going to go, that's a heck of a first catch of the season for Greg Camarillo.
Well, you talk about not giving up on it. He didn't give up on it.
Here comes Walt Coleman.
After reviewing the play, the ball never touched the ground. We have a completed catch. We'll place the ball 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Miami is not charged a timeout.
Good job by the officials, and a heck of a catch by Greg Camarillo.
And a heck of a job of Tony Sperano being alerted by his coaching staff upstairs and getting that challenge in just in the nick of time. Oh, that's just great camera work, folks. That's a beautiful look. It's not every time that we can deliver the really 100% definitive look, but that time it was spot on.
So let's see what the Dolphins can do with it. 2:52 to play here in the first half. Miami first down at the Atlanta 42. Ronnie Brown, the deep back in the I formation.
They're faking the blitz. They're walking up on the line. Well, they're not faking.
Pennington throws it away.
Well, now I'm really surprised. Oh, and there's a late flag.
Now the question is going to be, was he outside the box?
Well, it's normally up to the referee to call intentional grounding. This was thrown by the umpire.
Oh, so this
that's
is
not
against
his,
Atlanta.
Yeah, that's not his call.
Chad Pennington seems to think it's
Delay of game, 55. Defense spiking the ball. 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
so Chad Pennington calling it on his old buddy John Abraham.
Yeah. Well, the official's supposed to get the ball right away and spot it. Abraham spiked it into the ground. See, John Abraham takes it on one hop and then bounces it into the ground. That's a penalty.
The pitch for Brown. going to throw it back to Pennington.
He can
Double
throw it
pass.
again, yeah.
He throws it to this side, complete to Joey Hanos, the tight end.
The key to those passes, they were all taking place behind the line of scrimmage. So there's the flip, and then this is a backward pass from Ronnie Brown back to Chad Pennington. So they still have a forward pass left, and they utilize it there, throwing it downfield to Hanos.
So we hit the 2-minute warning, and the Miami Dolphins have moved to the 16-yard line. We'll be back. Why are the Miami Dolphins in the red zone for the first time today? On this drive alone, they've had a review of a catch go their way, a delay of game penalty against the Falcons, and then a 21-yard gain on the double pass. First down from the Atlanta 16. Pennington, little flip. Out of the backfield is Fasano. Fasano, loose football, picked up by the Falcons. The Falcons coming down the near sideline. This is Brian Williams. And Williams is caught. Loose ball out of bounds. It'll be Atlanta football. What a turnaround.
What a hit to knock the ball loose. And I'm not 100% who did it. Mike Peterson might have been the guy. We'll check. What a shot. Listen to this. Mike Peterson puts his helmet on the ball, and it goes directly to Brian Williams.
Brian Williams, the newcomer. Miami's second turnover of the day. 7-0 Atlanta.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Burger King, who reminds you to have it your way. And by DirecTV. Follow your favorite team no matter where you live with NFL Sunday Ticket on DirecTV.
Turnovers. The Miami Dolphins, 13 turnovers, tied for the fewest in the league last year. They've had 2 today.
Now, coaches will always tell you last year was last year. I don't want to hear about that this year. This is a prime example right now.
All 3 of their timeouts remaining for the Falcons. Ryan throws to the 20-yard line. Michael Jenkins. Clock moving, coming up on a minute and a half to play.
Boy, as a quarterback, you got to love looking at a big body like Michael Jenkins running a little slant like that. At 6'4", what an inviting target.
First down from the 20. White to the top of the screen. Jenkins down low.
Michael Jenkins actually weighs more than Matt Ryan.
Ryan under the gun and goes down. Courtesy of Jason Taylor. And timeout stops the clock. The Falcons down to 2 timeouts. 55 seconds to play.
Yes, that's the yoga guy.
Disqualified. What?
On October 9th.
You are here to answer the question, how do we make love work? Quiet, please.
There's trouble in paradise.
This is a great way to stretch.
Keep your chin up.
Yeah, I think I got it now.
Couples retreat.
There's no TV in the room.
No, but it's the playoffs.
No, not Pussy Bar. I don't understand. You sound like Chewbacca.
This film is not yet rated.
Rated E for everyone. Need for Speed Shift. Pre-order now. In stores September 15th.
Xbox 360 Elite. Now, $100 off. Can I help you?
Yeah, I promised my wife I'd spend the whole day looking for the best price on a new LG washer dryer.
On the Appliance Research Center, I can check the competition, guarantee the lowest price, and have you out of here in no time.
That's awesome. Hey, what's that all about?
Those are other husbands spending their day searching for the best price.
Yeah! We do the work, you get the best deal guaranteed. Save 20% on all Kenmore, Whirlpool, Maytag, and KitchenAid appliances. Sears, life well spent.
Hey, coming up, the Spread Halftime Report. JB, Dan Shannon, Boomer, Coach Cowher, latest NFL scores, highlights, and the latest from the U.S. Open coming up on the Spread Halftime Report. Jason Taylor, Dan, moving on up the charts in the sack department. And what a deal for the Miami Dolphins, the way that he left and came back.
Jason starts on the outside here and loops back to the inside and fools the Falcon offensive line. But you're right about that, Greg. It's like a car. It's like Miami leased him to the Redskins for a year. They get a second and a sixth-round draft choice. That second becomes Pat White. The car gets a flat tire while it's gone, and then you get it back, and it looks better than new.
Shovel pass to Jarius Norwood up the middle. Back inside the original line of scrimmage to the 17-yard line. 50 seconds, the clock is moving.
Well, Jason Elam appreciated that little run by Norwood. After the sack, that was starting to push him back into uncomfortable territory.
Atlanta's second timeout stops the clock with 42 seconds to play in the first half.
Special interest groups are trying to block progress on healthcare reform, derailing the debate with myths and scare tactics. Desperately trying to stop you from discovering that reform won't hurt Medicare, it will actually strengthen it by eliminating billions of dollars in waste and lowering drug prices. Tell Congress not to let myths get in the way of fixing what's broken with healthcare. Learn the facts at healthactionnow.org.
Let's make a correction. The Miami Dolphins call that last timeout, so each team has 2 remaining.
And there's Tony G, and we are in his territory. We're in his wheelhouse.
Line of scrimmage, the 18. 3rd and 8. Ryan looking, lofting, end zone, overthrew his intended receiver Norwood. And that'll bring Jason Elam on.
Boy, Jarius Norwood laughing on his way back. Oh, he just couldn't get there. Norwood, a guy with great speed, and again, Matt Ryan just not able to drop that in quite where he wanted.
So Elam, who missed from 42 yards earlier, will now try this one from 36. On its way, and this one looking much better. 32 seconds to play in the first half. Mike Peterson, who caused the big turnover, coming back onto the field. His Falcons now with a 10-0 lead. While we have a moment, we remind you, next Sunday, the NFL on CBS 50th season rolls with doubleheader action. And Dan and I will be in New York as the Pats take on the New York Jets. In the nightcap, the Super Bowl Steelers take on the Chicago Bears. Check your local listings, beginning with the usual suspects on the NFL Today.
What a group of happy guys. They do have fun. Matt Ryan has had some open receivers downfield that he's just he's got to be thinking to himself, man, I could have a couple more touchdown passes here if I could have just feathered it down a little bit.
There's such a thing as being amped up on opening day, isn't there?
Of course there is. Well, it's not. This is his 17th regular season game. He's a child by NFL standards. He's still learning, still growing, but he has got an upside that is higher than the roof of this dome.
Now the Dolphins looking for a big return from their explosive returner, Ted Ginn. Kana kicks it away. Ginn, 3 yards deep in the end zone, will run it out. 15, tripped up. Ball is loose and covered.
No,
and it is ruled down.
Walt Coleman comes in from behind, and you see him pointing to the ground.
Look for Eric Weems, number 14, making the trip up right there. And his knee hits, and then the ball comes loose.
He had both knees down and still had control of the football. He still has the ball, and actually his elbow hits the ground after his knees were down, and then the ball came loose. Good job by Walt Coleman seeing that from behind.
Tony Sperano is going to want to talk to his offense at halftime. It's been a fumble, a punt, and a fumble in their possessions. 25 seconds on the clock, 2 timeouts remaining for Miami. They'll keep it on the ground. Ricky Williams, nowhere to go. And you have to think they will just let the clock run out right here.
This has been, as you said, Greg, uncharacteristic of the Dolphins. They know that they're not talented enough to overcome a deficit of turnovers.
All the way back in Arizona the last time they were shut out in the first half. That's what's happened here today. We have come to the end of the first half. 10-0 Atlanta, and as we mentioned, Dan, it could be more.
It could be more. Matt Ryan could have at least 1, maybe 2 more touchdowns. It's been that close.
We're back with the Sprint halftime report after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. As we celebrate 50 years of broadcasting here on CBS, here's a moment to remember. Opening day 1989 here in Atlanta. Deion Sanders, fresh from a New York Yankee uniform, with a 68-yard punt return for a touchdown in the first quarter of his first game. The Falcons on the short end of a 31-21 score, but that's how the Deion Sanders era began in the National Football League. As we welcome you back to the Georgia Dome, Greg Gumbel along with Dan Deerdorf. 10-0 Falcons in the lead over Miami. Very uncharacteristic Dolphins first half. They didn't lose 2 fumbles in 1 game all of last season, Dan.
You think Tony Sperano might have had a little meltdown inside at halftime? The first one by Chad Pennington didn't really cause a lot of damage, but the second one, they were all the way down to the Atlanta 10-yard line looking at tying this game up going into halftime, and instead they're down 10-0.
Got to give a little credit to Mike Peterson, too, for a heck of a hit on Anthony Fasano.
He hit the ball square on. And we are enjoying this today in beautiful high-definition television, Greg. Don't you love it?
Dolphins will get their hands on the ball first. And this is Ted Ginn. About 4 yards deep in his own end zone. 15, and not much more.
Well, we talked just a moment ago, Greg and I, about the 2 turnovers. And the first was Chad Pennington trying to find a receiver, and he just held it way too long, and Bierman knocked the ball loose. But then that wild hit by Mike Peterson right on the ball, jarred it loose from Anthony Fasano. Brian Williams runs it back 53 yards. And that set up the Elam touchdown right before the end of the first half. So I'm sure that Chad and the Dolphins were looking at 7-7 going into halftime, and instead are getting blanked by 10.
See what Chad Pennington does right out of the box here. First down. The ball just across their own 15-yard line. And straight ahead is Lou Polite. To about the 24.
And not really a primary force in the Miami running attack. He carried the ball 23 times last year. So once or twice a game they change up and give it to their fullback, who's a very effective blocker. But you know, when you got Ronnie Brown and Ricky Williams and Patrick Cobbs, who's a very underrated guy in your running stable, it's tough to get carries all the way down to Polite.
Speaking of Ricky Williams, he's in the backfield. Second and short yardage. Ooh, what a hit. Jonathan Babineau on Polite.
Well, that was impolite, the way he just treated Polite. This is how you hit a guy square. Watch this. Wow, that is just perfect. Put the helmet right on the ball. Polite never even got it. We're lucky that wasn't a fumble for the Miami Dolphins.
You know, it was a good idea the first time, huh?
That's where you could easily see the ball squirt out.
On 3rd and 5, Pennington spins away from trouble. Abraham chasing, and he throws it away.
Abraham got inside Jake Long that time. And I'm not sure how Long wasn't. He really gave him the inside. And again, John Abraham. I know, Jake, you're a second-year guy, and John Abraham has been doing this to guys for 10 years. One of the handful of the best pure pass rushers this league's seen in the last decade.
Eric Weems going to let it bounce and roll. And it takes a Miami roll just inside the Atlanta 30-yard line. That's where the Falcon offense will go to work when we come back. 13-16 to play in the third. 10-0 Atlanta. This is where Tony Sperano's defense is going to have to be on its guard. No defense allowed more points on the first-second half possession last year than the Dolphins. Matt Ryan throwing on 1st down. That's complete to White, and White is out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. A pickup of 6 makes it 2nd and 4.
Matt Ryan obviously very comfortable moving. I think that shows what kind of athletic skills he's got. Very comfortable on the move, rolling out either right or left. Good mechanics and the way he sets up, squares his shoulders and hips.
So comfortable in so many more ways going into his 2nd season. The give is to Turner, and Turner just short of a 1st down.
Well, in Atlanta this time really trying to protect him by running an overload. They brought in an extra lineman and putting Tony Gonzalez to that side. And again, he's a young quarterback. And, you know, we said, Matt, what's one of the things you've really gotten better at this year? He said, calling plays. Last year I would stutter, I would mumble, I would get halfway through and have to start over again. Some of his teammates echoed the same thing. Much cleaner in the huddle this year.
But Roddy White says it's like Matt Ryan woke up and realized that everything is fairly simple. 3rd and 1. Extended fake and a deep ball for Roddy White. Can he get there? Incomplete. Sean Smith, the rookie with those long arms, feels he should have made the pick.
Yeah, it looked halfway there like that was going to be a touchdown, and then the ball just ran out of gas. It came down short, and Roddy White does a good job. Watch him slow down here a little bit. And Smith comes back, and I'll tell you, Smith, he's trying to feel where Roddy White is, hitting him with that arm, feeling him as he goes. But that ball just came up a tad short.
Devon Best makes the catch and is spun down at about the 27-yard line. 11 minutes, 52 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter. Miami looking for some offense. They're down 10.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest. Ready when you are. Go to southwest.com, grab your bag, it's on. Red Lobster. During endless shrimp at Red Lobster, indulge in endless choices of your shrimp favorites. And by Cross Brand. May the best car win.
Once again, a look at the beautiful Georgia Aquarium. Neat place. That is spectacular. Dolphins at their own 26-yard line, trying to make something happen on offense. Had a drive going near the end of the 1st half before a turnover wrecked that movement. And Pennington, play fake, stepping up, and gets hit as he crosses the 25. And once again, John Abraham making the play.
You know, let's go back to that last pass by Matt Ryan. And we talked about Tony Gonzalez. We know what a skilled pass catcher is. Well, you know why his teammates love him? Look what he does here. I'll just take Joey Porter, one of the great pass rushers in the game, and I'll just take him out of the play. I'll guarantee you that Joey Porter when he realizes a tight end is going to try to block him, starts thinking that I've got a sack coming. That was good work by Gonzalez.
2nd and 10. Brown. And nothing there for Ronnie Brown. You know, you just don't feel like that Miami offense has found its rhythm yet today, Dan.
Well, they've only got a little over 100 yards total offense, like 112 yards, and that is substandard. So you're right on, Greg. They are out of sync. They can't do anything consistently, and Ronnie Brown just can't get loose.
11 rushing yards, 1 receiving yard for Ronnie Brown. 3rd and 9. Once again, Pennington goes down. 4th sack of the day of Pennington. Number 71, Troy Bierman. And again, he came in off that right side.
Well, remember, Bierman is the guy that knocked the ball loose from Pennington in the first quarter that resulted in a turnover. And here he gets around the edge again, coming in on the left side. From the blind side, you can see Chad sensed him at the last moment. And right now, the defensive line of the Falcons is kicking butt.
Here's Eric Weems from his own 34, trying to turn the corner, and he does. He's got some running room, puts it back inside, and is spun out of bounds in Miami territory. Going to be marked out at the 48-yard line. 9:54 to play, 3rd quarter. Good field position for Matt Ryan. And we are underway in Atlanta. Pennington goes down. John Abraham. What a catch by Tony G. Ryan to throw. Touchdown. Welcome back to the Georgia Dome. 9:54 to play, 3rd quarter. Atlanta with the ball in a 10-0 lead.
Ooh, and some pressure here on the Miami defense, having to defend already starting in their own territory.
Gonzalez in motion. They give it to Turner, right side, and he just has not been able to find running room today. This is a guy who a season ago, 1,699 yards and 17 rushing touchdowns, and led the league in rushing attempts with 376.
Well, and he's going after a pretty good rushing defense. The Dolphins were 10th in the league last year. As you can see, that's quite a drop-off. But everybody knows that the strength of this Miami defense is their front 7. There's a lot of talent there. Big Jason Ferguson on the nose, Taylor and Porter outside. Channing Crowder, a linebacker that's really coming in. These guys are stout up front. They're showing it today.
Ryan under center on 2nd and 8, straight drop. Running out of time, and he goes down at the 45. Philip Merling, number 97, led the charge.
And Philip Merling had a sensational first half, and now he keeps it going here in the 3rd quarter. Ooh, nice little inside swim move. You could see him get inside Sam Baker. That's just staying active, keeping your legs moving, keeping your arms swinging. Philip Merling is having some opening day here for the Fish.
So now it's 3rd and 16. You're talking about how the Dolphin defense had to step up. Ryan needs the Miami 38 for a 1st down. Running out of time, flips to Norwood. Norwood tackled just inside the 45-yard line.
That's just excellent work by the Miami defense. That is really, really good. You start off at your own 48, and 3 plays, you only give them a couple of yards, and you force them out there to punt. That was much needed by the Dolphins, they were a little bit on the ropes there. A lot of football left here, but going down 13 or 17-0, not a good option.
So here's Michael Kanan to kick it away, and Devon Bess to see if he can get a return out of this. Kanan hangs it up high, and it's going to fall inside the 5 and roll into the end zone for the touchback. It'll come out to the 20-yard line. 7:47 to play. 3rd quarter. The Falcons pitching a shutout.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Priority Mail flat rate boxes only from the Postal Service. A simpler way to ship. And by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Back in Atlanta, looks like an Atlanta Falcon if I ever saw one. Miami trying to correct some offensive woes. No yards in 2 drives. Ronnie Brown 6 touches, 12 yards on the day. And here's Brown, lassoed from behind by Chauncey Davis. Hey, critics call The Good Wife smart and sophisticated. See why Juliana Margulies is perfect in the best new drama of the season. The Good Wife series premiered Tuesday, September the 22nd, only CBS. Well, everything that Miami has tried doesn't seem to be fooling Atlanta today. Not very much. The pitch for Brown, left side. Tripped up and down at the 25. That'll leave them with a 3rd and about 5.
Well, we told you we were going to check in periodically on this little tussle between Jake Long and John Abraham. Early in the game, he's very effective there by Long running Abraham upfield. But then John comes back with just a bull rush right over him. There he goes inside, flushes Pennington. And a learning experience for the #1 pick in the draft last year.
And now a 3rd and 5 for Pennington and the Dolphins. Throwing to the near side, that is complete. And out of bounds to Devon Bess. 6:23 to play to New York and James Brown. JB.
Greg and Dan, you know Jerry Jones expecting big things out of Roy Williams with a T.O. Lesquad 66-yard strike from Tony Romo. And the Cowboys on top by 20-7. That in the 3rd over the Buccaneers. Back to Greg and Dan.
All right, JB, thank you.
I think the Buccaneers have a long year laid out in front of them.
First down Miami, their own 39. Straight ahead is Ricky Williams. Across the 40 to about the 43.
The Miami offense, and we've talked about it, just can't seem to get loose. But, you know, both of these offenses have not been totally in sync. And I don't think that's to be unexpected, Greg. I've always thought that offensive football takes a little longer to get the timing down at regular season speed than defensive football does. There's Dan Henning, the offensive coordinator of the Miami team. But I always think that that from a timing standpoint, the offense is always a week or 2 behind defense.
Defense should just hit somebody, right?
A hit
the pitch to Ricky Williams, turning the corner left side, has a first down as he makes it out to midfield. With that, we take you right back to James Brown in New York. JB.
Hey, Greg and Dan, you know Peyton Manning likes familiarity. Well, you know what? He knows this name well. Reggie Wayne, 35 yards in the air. Bullet strike indeed. Wayne, 7 catches, 133 yards, and a touchdown. 14-6 Indy over Jacksonville. Greg and Dan.
Helps when those receivers are wide open, doesn't it?
Yeah, and then talking about a guy who never needs to get up to speed on his timing, JB. Of course, he's the leader and the best.
Captain Stopwatch.
Notice I got a little Michigan promo on my head.
First down. Play fake and the give to Ted Ginn. Coming around the right side, takes it back close to the 40-yard line of the Falcons, about 2 yards short of a first down.
Well, Ted Ginn has been returning kickoffs today, and here he comes around on this end around, and there's a few times here where Ted Ginn just looks a little tentative to me. There's a couple points where I'm expecting for that explosive burst to his, and I'm not seeing it. He's a guy with that kind of speed that when he goes upfield, I'm just waiting for that sizzle, and I haven't seen it yet.
2nd and 2. Brown pulls his way for what appears to be a first down inside the 40-yard line.
Well, this has been a solid drive so far by Miami, and now the question is, can they finish?
You know, getting back to Ted Ginn, you mentioned it, Dan. He hasn't been able to really get underway yet, but the Falcons are well aware of him. Eric Coleman said he's got world-class speed, and he doesn't look like he's running fast, and then all of a sudden he's by you.
If Ted Ginn doesn't scare you as a defensive back, then you haven't watched enough tape. Because guys with that kind of speed don't come along every day.
Pat White in the lineup at quarterback. Fakes the handoff and gives, and now Ted Ginn on the run. Gets a block, looking for running room. To about the 37. Much ado about very little.
Although you like to see the ball in the hand of as many explosive playmakers as you can. You got White, you got Ginn. He was going to pass it. He looked like this was an intended pass, and he didn't get a chance to set up. I think the run came afterwards. Ted Ginn was looking to me like he was pulling up and getting ready to cock and fire.
It's going to be really interesting to see what the Dolphins do throughout the season, shuffling Pat White and Chad Henne in that second and third quarterback position.
Well, I'm sure Henne knew that he was going to end up being the third quarterback, but he can't be thrilled about it.
Pennington rolling, throws, complete, and out of bounds to Brian Hartline, the rookie wide receiver out of Ohio State. And we have a penalty marker down.
Pass interference, 82. Offense, 10-yard penalty.
Hartline on the offensive interference.
Boy. Normally, you need to be a veteran receiver to get savvy enough to start pushing off. Well, Brian Hartline he goes down there and digs in like he's making a block. He's working against Brent Grimes. Brent Grimes has a right to his spot on the field, and as a receiver, you can't run into a guy and just act like you're a blocker and then break out of that into a pass pattern. Brent Grimes has a right to that real estate that he was occupying.
So it's a 2nd and 19 for Miami. Pennington intercepted. Picked off by Mike Peterson. The veteran brings it back to the 30, to the 20-yard line.
Well, how good do Mike Smith and Thomas Dimitroff look for bringing in Mike Peterson, getting this kind of veteran? Look at him sit right there in the zone, and for some reason Chad Pennington, trying to go to Fasano, doesn't even see him. Fasano tries to strip the ball away, but Mike Peterson just undercuts this and then makes a beautiful catch. He showed Tony Gonzalez hands there, snatching that ball out of the air.
3 turnovers for the Miami Dolphins today. First down from the 20. Matt Ryan rolling, throws it away. Maybe 2nd and 10.
Well, Dan Henning tries to go right for the quick touchdown after the turnover. I think offensive coordinators just love to do that kind of stuff. Now we've gone back a couple of years, all back to December of 07, when they had 5 turnovers. But if we have to go back farther than that, Miami's in real trouble. If we have to go past 5 turnovers, that would be a disaster.
Ryan. And that one's batted away at the 5-yard line by Jeremiah Bell. Gonzalez, the intended receiver.
Well, Jeremiah Bell, a good veteran safety, one of the real strengths of the Dolphins, not just their secondary, but of their entire defense. A great run support safety, that time showing he's got some coverage skills as well. He was locked up all over Gonzalez.
So here's the deal as we approach the 4th quarter, Dan. The big question mark for these Falcons was the defense, and here they are. They've forced 3 turnovers and throwing a shutout at the Miami Dolphins. Bryant on the blitz, got rid of it. Complete. This is Gonzalez. To the 5, touchdown.
Stop it, Tony. Mike Peterson, you got it started, but 88 finished it. Well, this will show you a little bit about what kind of an athlete he is, because Jeremiah Bell comes in. He is a really good tackler, and he was not expecting Tony Gonzalez to put that kind of a move on him. Oh,
the
that's
extra point is no good.
Whoa, did Elam just snap hook that?
Meanwhile, Tony Gonzalez over 11,000 receiving yards for a great career. Matt Ryan says, look at us, we're up 16-0. Only the 21st player in NFL history with that many receiving yards in his great career. Tony told us he came here wanting to prove himself to his new teammates. He's out early, working hard, and what a play on the touchdown. Here's Patrick Cobbs, 2 yards deep into the end zone, and doesn't even make it back to the 15-yard line. Troy Bierman, number 71.
I want to show everybody a wonderful blitz adjustment by the Falcons. Look, check this out. There are 7 Dolphins on the line of scrimmage here that are going to come. Tony Gonzalez is looking at that. He breaks off his pattern and instantly becomes a target for Matt Ryan, who's getting Channing Crowder right in the face. But that is an adjustment by Gonzalez. That is a smart veteran play. And for 2 guys that have only had one training camp together, look how they have made this adjustment. Matt Ryan with Channing Crowder all over him knew what Gonzalez was going to do, and Tony did it.
Pennington on first down, gives to Ronnie Brown. Brown up the middle with a little room. To the 25, forward to the 28, and a first down. Ran right over Thomas DeCoop. And we are at 55 seconds and counting for the third quarter.
And how many times do you see that blitz come and the quarterback takes one in the chops and his receivers are running downfield without making any adjustment? Then they all turn around and go, oh, what happened? I didn't. A blitz?
Sounded good.
I didn't see a blitz.
Pennington with time. One flip over the middle to Fasano, and Fasano lost the football.
Well, I'm sure that Tony Sperano wants to see a replay of this, because he's got to be. He thinks that maybe Sperano, either that Fasano, too many Speranos and Fasanos here, might be down. Let's see. When does the ball come out? Oh, it comes out before he's down. That is a fumble. Good job by the officials. Anthony Fasano, for the 2nd time today, coughs it up after a big hit.
That is an incredible 4th turnover of the day by the Miami Dolphins. You don't win football games that way.
And Mike Peterson right in the middle again.
Here's Turner. To about the 33.
This is just so out of character for the Miami Dolphins.
And
they have to be shell-shocked.
With that, time runs down the end of the third quarter. The score, the Falcons 16 and the Dolphins nothing. We're coming back to Atlanta for the fourth quarter. After this message and a word from your local station, you're watching the NFL on CBS, the home of Super Bowl 44. Back for the start of the fourth quarter along with our CBS Sports crew. Dan Deerdorf, Greg Gumbel. The Falcons from the Miami 33. And here's Michael Turner. Turner stopped at about the 30-yard line. I don't think we can say enough about Tony Gonzalez. We talked about how he came into this camp, Dan, and felt like he wanted to prove himself to his teammates. He was out here early today.
This is an hour and a half before kickout. He's out here getting work. He's working the sidelines, catching ball. Then this in the first half, laying out like that, coming down with that pass. He's just got hands that are so supple, and this is smart football. Reading the blitz, breaking off your pattern, helping out your quarterback, and obviously helping out your team.
His 77th career touchdown.
Imagine a guy who is arguably the greatest tight end that ever played saying, I need to prove myself to my new teammates.
10-time Pro Bowler and enjoying a fine game 1 with his new team. Hey, Thursday on the premiere of Survivor. There have been villains before. No one like this. You won't believe what he pulls on the premiere of Survivor. Thursday, only CBS.
Miami had to take a timeout right there. I'm not sure they had 10 guys in the huddle. I mean, 11 guys. I believe they might have only had 10.
It's a good thing that's not a long flight home.
Woo.
3rd and 1 now for the Falcons, who have Norwood and Jason Snelling in the backfield along with Matt Ryan. Little shuttle pass to Snelling. And Snelling has enough for the first down to the 27.
Man, what a form tackle by Channing Crowder. That's the kind of thing you show a kid and say, this is how you tackle somebody. Take a look right here. The break up into the middle. Watch that. Get low, get under, lift, plant. It doesn't get any better than that. That's exactly the way you do it. He planted Snelling right there in the Georgia Dome turf.
Enough for the first down and not much further than that. So now from the 27 of the Dolphins, Ryan, near side of the field, caught at the 15 and out of bounds to Gonzalez. Look familiar? Back to New York and James Brown.
And speaking of familiar, Brett Favre certainly is, but this is his first Vikings touchdown pass. This one to the rookie Percy Harvin on this 6-yard toss. 13 of 18, 113 yards and 1 touch for Brett Favre. 24-13. Back to Greg and Dan.
Thank you, JB. Have you seen Percy Harvin run?
He is fast.
There's only one team that picks up where it left off from last year, and that's the winner of the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and he's right about that. He said our last play of the year was watching Baltimore take a knee.
Here's Elam from 38. And that one hits the crossbar and bounces back. This is not a day to remember for Jason Elam.
Wow.
He missed from 42. He missed a point after, and he missed from 38 yards here. Still 16-0 Atlanta. This is Jason Elam's 17th season in the National Football League, and already he's having a worse year than he did all of last year.
He is really a gray beard, and what a day he's having.
He missed 2 field goals all of last year. He's missed 2 plus an extra point today. Quick pass out to the near side. Camarillo.
Big hit there by Curtis Lofton. But this is the story of the game. These turnovers by the Dolphins. Bierman gets in there, strips Chad Pennington. That's a fumble that's recovered. Big hit here by Mike Peterson. Knocks it away from Anthony Pisano. Away goes Brian Williams. Mike Peterson undercuts, interception. And Anthony Pisano gets drilled again with Mike Peterson in the middle of it.
Meanwhile, back to the action. That ball tipped and incomplete.
Nice job by Ted Ginn of elevating and getting up there and making sure that somebody from Atlanta didn't get a hold of that.
Like Jamal Anderson. Got a hand on it right there.
He most certainly did.
And then Ginn saved the interception. And as you pointed out, Dan, only 9 points off of those 4 turnovers, but a lot of them cut short a Miami drive.
What would have been a scoring, especially the first Pisano fumble was at the 10-yard line of Atlanta.
And again, worth noting, Miami only committed 13 turnovers all last season, 4 today. 3rd and 5. Pennington. Short flip to Devon Best goes nowhere. Nowhere.
Well, kudos to this Atlanta defense. Brian Van Gorder's group, they are flying around. They are feeling it. They are moving, and they are just smothering Miami.
5th punt of the day coming up for the Miami Dolphins. Brandon Fields in his 3rd year out of Michigan State. Here's Weems. Sidesteps a tackler at the 30, goes down at the 31. 11.5 minutes to play. 4th quarter, time growing short for the visiting Dolphins.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Dish Network. Why would you ever pay more for TV? Bud Light, with just the right taste that never fills you up. The difference is drinkability. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com to learn more.
Welcome back to Atlanta, where the dirty word of the day for the Miami Dolphins is turnover.
Well, you can see that's the reason that they lost to Baltimore. They turned it over 5 times in that wild card playoff game last January.
On 1st down, Ryan, play fake. Mahaley out of the backfield. 1st down and then some. Out of bounds at midfield and inside Miami territory at the 49.
Well, that play is really indicative of where the energy is in this game right now. Ovi Mahaley, just a simple little pattern, and you see breaks Adele's tackle, and then watch the boom right there. That's given the thigh. Jabril Wilson took a real shot, and you can just see the energy just flowing out of the guys in the red and the guys in the white a little back on their heels.
Jarius Norwood now into the backfield. Ryan throwing this way, and that's complete to the 45 to Roddy White. Pickup of 3, and it'll be 2nd and 7. 10:50 to play here in the 4th quarter. Miami's good. 2 touchdowns and a field goal away from the lead here, but the quality of play is going to have to improve significantly from the shotgun. Quick pass out to the far side. Michael Jenkins hit as soon as he made the catch by the rookie Vontae Davis.
Well, this is their #1 draft pick, Vontae Davis. And that's the way you burst. A corner has got to be able to close, and that is how you do it. And they're excited about their 1st and 2nd round draft picks, both of them corners. Vontae Davis from Illinois, Sean Smith from Utah.
You were talking about the sheer size of Sean Smith, Dan.
Well, he's 6'3". You don't see corners that size anymore.
Shooting guard. Shooting guard.
Big guy.
On 3rd and 10. Throwing out to this side. That is complete to Norwood, and Norwood diving for the 1st down.
Ryan calling for the huddle. He delivers. Look how he throws this pass where Norwood can take it in stride, and then he turns upfield because he had all sorts of room, and it's actually a defensive lineman, Tony McDaniel, that gets all the way over there and has to run him out of bounds.
And on 1st down here now, the Falcons bring in 3 tight ends. Gonzalez, Peel, and Zinger. And they'll give it to Turner, and Turner is going to have an opening day to forget. Jabril Wilson with the tackle. James Brown with an update.
Hey, Greg, rookie quarterback Mark Sanchez has been having a good game. 17 of 29 for 232 yards and a touchdown, but throws a pick here to John Beasing. He brings it back, fumbles the ball, but picked up by teammate Dominic Barber, and he takes it in 48 yards for the score. 17-7. Jets on top of Houston. Greg and Dan.
All right, thank you, JB. Dan, you and I will see those Jets next week as they host the New England Patriots. 2nd and 10. Norwood to the 31.
Michael Turner hasn't seen a hole like that in a while. You mentioned Turner and his frustrations. Can you imagine? Michael Turner's carried the ball 18 times and has 37 yards. That's 2 yards a carry. So you've got to give all the credit in the world to the Miami defense. They have been controlling the rushing line of scrimmage. If you'd have dropped those numbers on Tony Sperano and said, this is what you're going to do to Michael Turner, I guarantee you that he would have countered and said,
we're golden.
We're going to be winning the game. Not getting shut out. 16-0.
3rd and 5. Over the middle. Incomplete at the 20-yard line. Pass intended for Gonzalez, and Jabril Wilson closed and made contact as the ball got there.
Take a look at it. Tony Gonzalez working against this zone, and Tyrone Culver gets there and puts the hit and knocks the ball right out of his hands. Tony had that. That was going to be a catch, and Culver, excellent job.
Here's Elam from 50 yards out. On its way, and good.
Oh, how bad did he need that?
Coach Mike Smith says, gonna run you out there until you get it right, son. You betcha. 19-0 Falcons. Not the kind of day Chad Pennington had in mind when he arrived with his teammates here in Atlanta yesterday.
Not even 200 yards in offense, 177.
Patrick Cobb will take this kick at his 3 to the 20. And out close to the 25-yard line, Coy Wire making the stop. 7:28 to play in the 4th. Time's running low on Miami.
Miami's Wildcat offense just kicked the Pats where it hurts, and you missed the game because of what? Because you have cable? Don't be that guy. Just get DirecTV. It's the only way to watch any game you want, no matter where you live.
Call 1-800-DIRECTV.
CSI season premiere September 24th. Only CBS.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Subway. Scrabble at Subway is back. So many chances to win and so many great prizes. Play Scrabble at Subway, where winners eat. And by Sprint, official wireless service sponsor of the NFL.
A reminder, Wednesdays on Showtime, the Emmy Award-winning Inside the NFL returns. Join JV, Phil Simms, Chris Collinsworth, Warren Sapp for all the football that's fit to fit in. Wednesdays on Showtime. Just under 7.5 to play here in the 4th quarter. Miami's average starting position, their own 22. They start from their own 24 here. And under pressure, Pennington hit as he released it. The rookie, Pere Jerry. 1st round pick out of Ole Miss.
But you see, this is a screen, and this is designed for some guys to come up the middle. You got to stop them a little bit more. But the timing again is gone, and it was also an excellent job by Jonathan Babineau, who went out with Ricky Williams. And that's the reason Chad had to throw it into the ground. He was going to go to Williams, but Babineau was in his hip pocket.
2nd and 10. Pennington with some time and just plain old missed Ricky Williams at the 30-yard line. 3rd and 10.
But Chad took a pretty good shot at the end. Another Atlanta line stud put pressure right in his face.
We started this day talking about Chad Pennington's completion percentage. He's 14 of 21 today.
Unfortunately, obviously no touchdown passes, but he's got a fumble and an interception.
3rd and 10. It's time for the Dolphins to start making some things happen if they're going to do anything. He steps up, he throws, and that is complete. Cutting in over the middle was Devon Best, diving catch, 1st down across the 40 to about the 44.
Well, Devon Best last year had 54 catches for these Dolphins, and he has got a burst to the ball. When he broke inside of the defense and he broke off his pattern, man, he covered 3 yards in a hurry.
Pennington will flip to Ricky Williams. Ditches one tackler, going for the 1st down, and is out of bounds very close to it at the 45 of the Atlanta Falcons. And that is enough for a 1st down. Clock continues to move, 6:45 to play.
And Miami going without a huddle. They've got no choice now.
Ronnie Brown. Oof. Hit hard at the 40 after about a 5-yard pickup by Mike Peterson, who has played a whale of a game in this, his first game in an Atlanta uniform.
I mean, keep in mind, Mike Peterson's 33 years old. This is his 11th year in this league. He's playing like a kid.
Pennington will flip over the middle to Brown. And Brown to the 31. That's enough for another first down. Lofton and Peterson in on the stop there. Mike Peterson, again, another old friend of Mike Smith. And here's Ronnie Brown. And Brown to about the 26. Those coaches tend to pick up on guys that they know and who know their system, don't they?
Well, especially if you'd like to get them back in a hurry. And now we've got 2 Atlanta Falcons. Mike Peterson right there, and over on the other side, Parade Jerry, he's also down. That's their #1 draft pick. A lot of talent here in these 2 players, 2 key cogs. Perry brought in to play nose tackle after Grady Jackson departed. Let's watch the conclusion of this play. They're trying to tackle Ronnie Brown. I couldn't see what happened at the end of that. Bierman comes in and finishes off the tackle, and Ronnie Brown and Bierman both kind of landed on Jerry.
Hey, big bodies colliding is enough proof for me.
Well, you'd be surprised how many times you see defensive guys get dinged because of contact with one another.
Let's take a moment here while we have a chance and go to JB in New York.
Hey, Greg and Dan, Baltimore is taking a lead once again after that 17-all tie with McLean. Ron McLean doing the job, late Ron McLean, but take a look at Ray Rice, that 22-yard gain there. Hard running effort, 17 carries, 97 yards. That set up the touchdown. Back to Greg and Dan.
Thanks, JB. How about the effort Kansas City is giving forth at Baltimore today?
No kidding. Kansas City picked by a lot of people to be one of the 2 or 3 worst teams in the league this year.
Did I just say giving forth? What does that mean?
It's just, it shows you're an English major.
Opening day waggle.
Well, that's good news for Atlanta. Jerry and Mike Richardson both appear to be semi-okay. Miami's schedule, we touched on it earlier. They play the most difficult schedule in the NFL this year based on last year's opponents' winning schedule, their winning percentage, and the start of their schedule. They go back home and play Indianapolis. They then have to go to San Diego. They got Buffalo, the Jets. It's a full plate for the Miami Dolphins.
And Atlanta, the 4th toughest schedule. Penalty markers down. This play gets nothing, but let's check the flag as the clock stops at 5:20. Or should stop.
Offside. Defense. 5-yard penalty. Penalty results in a first down.
Yeah, Greg, you mentioned Atlanta's schedule. They have to play both the NFC East and the AFC East, 2 of football's toughest divisions. A lot of quality teams in both of those. So
they get the Carolina Panthers in here next week. So we're going to back the clock up to 5:19. It's going to be a Miami first down at Atlanta's 21. And times are growing short. Pennington under pressure, escapes, on the move, now throws, Fasano to the 5, touchdown! Was he passed the line of scrimmage?
There's a flag down. There's a flag back at the 22-yard line.
72, offense,
and there's a
10-yard
holding
penalty,
call
still first down.
against Vernon Carey.
Boy, when it goes bad for Miami, it goes really bad. Anthony Fasano, who's had 2 fumbles today, finally gets in the end zone and has it taken away. Vernon Carey is up here at the right tackle spot. Bierman gets by him, and then there's
right there.
Oh yeah, that's.
And then he is past the 21-yard line when he let go of the ball.
Yeah, there were 2 fouls there. The one was enough. That was a major hold by Vernon Carey.
1st and 20 from the 31. Cobbs in motion. Pennington throws out to Cobbs on the sideline, and he's out of bounds or make it Hartline at the 25.
We talked to Miami about Brian Hartline, and what's the one word they use?
Sticky hands.
Sticky hands. Tony Sperano said it. Chad Pennington said it. A kid from Canton, Ohio, from my high school. We from the same high school in Canton.
Dan Deerdorf Educational Prep.
We weren't there at the same time.
Dan Deerdorf Educational Prep.
Actually, it's
pre-law, pre-med, and pre-football.
It actually is adjoining the jail.
2nd and 13. Pennington will screen this side, the best inside the 20 to the 15-yard line. That's about 4 yards short of a first down, and the clock comes up on 4.5. Certainly the Dolphins are in 4-down territory. Pennington just kills it.
Well, that could only be the result of having somebody totally out of position, not where Chad was expecting that.
And so it'll be 4th and 4.
Again, they keep trying to get backs out into patterns, and Atlanta's just doing a great job of sending a defensive lineman with these guys.
This is only the 2nd trip into the red zone by the Miami Dolphins today. 4th and 4. Pennington rolling, throws, and that's complete inside the 10-yard line for a first down to Hartline.
Well, it's asking a lot of your secondary when a quarterback can buy himself this much time, and that's exactly what Chad Pennington did, extending the play. He just drifted and drifted and drifted. Nobody challenged him, and finally Hartline sprang open.
Clock is running, and the Dolphins are huddling. 1st and goal from the 9. Play fake to Ricky Williams. Pennington throws to Williams all alone for the touchdown. 9-yard touchdown pass. Pennington to Ricky Williams, and the Dolphins are on the board.
Well, beautiful ball handling by Chad Pennington. Watch after he makes this fake. He dips down, really hides the football from the defense, and then this is just a defensive blow. There's no way you turn the back loose after a play fake like that. Eric Coleman appeared to be a little confused as to whether he should go with Williams or not.
Dan Carpenter's kick is good. 3:21 to play here in the 4th quarter, and Atlanta's lead now is 19-7. Want to remind you, coming up next, CBS Sports take you to Flushing Meadows for the semifinal showdown between top seed Roger Federer and 4th seed Novak Djokovic. The winner there will face Juan Martín de Potro, who beat Rafael Nadal in straight sets. And who'd have thought that?
Not me.
Nor I.
Not I, me, you, us, anybody else.
That's U.S. Open men's semifinal action coming up next after we wind things down here.
How dominant is Roger Federer in tennis? And he's the Wayne Gretzky of tennis.
He's typically one of those athletes, Dan, whose talent and ability really won't be appreciated until after he's done.
No.
And they go, wow, did he do all that?
And at his age, he's far from being done. You've got to wonder, Roger Federer has got so many more years of you know, where from a physical standpoint, he's still capable of winning grand slams.
It is safe to say that the Falcons are expecting the onside kick.
You think?
That's just a guess on my part.
New rule this year, you got to keep 3 guys over on this side at least.
Popped into the air, grabbed on the far side, and brought back by Brian Finneran. Wide receiver with excellent hands.
And a big tall guy too at 6'3". That's the perfect guy you'd like to have on your hands team. A receiver and a tall guy at the same time. Boy, and he timed that jump perfectly.
So now the Dolphins with 2 timeouts remaining and 3:19 on the clock.
Well, you'd say, well, here's where Atlanta just runs it out with Michael Turner. But that hasn't been the case so far. They haven't shown an ability to do that.
For the 6th time today, the Falcons start a drive in Miami territory. Here's Turner. And Turner stacked up at about the 32, 33-yard line.
There are the teams that improved dramatically. Miami last year had a 10-game differential going from a 1-win season to an 11-win season. On the right are the teams and what they did the following year, and as you can see, with the exception of the Jets, who improved, everyone else went downhill.
It wasn't a long-standing success.
Yeah, and let's be realistic. For Miami, it's going to be hard not to have a negative number to that next to that +10. You got to win 12, or you got to win at least 11 just to break even.
Here's Turner again, and Turner with running room to the 20-yard line and a first down.
Well, that was bad timing on Miami's part to finally let Michael Turner have some running room.
And the Falcons will be in no hurry to get another snap off before the 2-minute warning comes up. That was a 12-yard run.
And Miami just took a timeout. Miami's going to stop the clock.
12-yard run, his longest of the day.
And his offensive line opened a big hole there. Mahaley got a good block out front, and one of the few times that Jeremiah Bell, there, number 37, wasn't meeting Michael Turner right at the line of scrimmage.
You know what was downright scary when we met with the Falcons on Friday? The size of Michael Turner's thighs.
They are quite impressive. He has to buy pants with a waist about 6 sizes too large for him just to get the pant legs over those thighs.
First down from the 20. Turner to the 13.
I would assume that Michael Turner is one of those guys that has to have his pants tailor-made. Can you imagine the first time the tailor just puts the tape around his thigh? I'm sure he's going,
smelling salts, please.
This can't be possible. This can't. Come on, this can't be.
Oh, I'm sorry, I got your waist.
Oh, man.
The Dolphins burn their final timeout and stop the clock with 2:15 to play. It's only going to be about an hour-and-a-half flight back to Miami. It's going to feel a lot longer.
Now, the funny part of it is when you talk to the Dolphins players, they talked about how hard they worked in training camp last year, and they said, you know, we worked just that hard this year, if not even harder. And we realized that, you know, you have a little success, but it's easy to slide back. I wouldn't hit the panic button. This is one game. By and large, their defense has played pretty well. It's just offensively just completely out of sync, and the turnovers are just unacceptable.
Turner again, bouncing to the outside, to the 10, to about the 6. The clock continues to move, and it'll be the last 5 seconds to wear down before we get to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play here in Atlanta. It has been a banner day for the Atlanta Falcons. For Chad Pennington, not so much. That's what the Wildcat offense of the Miami Dolphins has produced today. And we talked to John Abraham, said, how much did you practice against it? He said, every day this week, every single day.
Well, it showed. And Mike Smith, we can't say enough what a job he has done. A defensive coordinator at Jacksonville, Thomas Dimitroff, gives him the opportunity to be a head coach in the National Football League. Gave him the talent, and his players love the guy. He's got that kind of a personality. His players just really love him. And there's Arthur Blank, the owner of the Atlanta Falcons.
Mike Smith, the AP and Sporting News NFL Coach of the Year last season, taking the Falcons to their first playoff appearance since the 2004 season.
And what this franchise had to undergo, the Michael Vick saga, the Bobby Petrino quitting in the middle of the season, just on and on and on. Talk about a resurrection. This franchise, the people of Atlanta have to be thrilled with the state of the Falcons right now. Who would have ever thought, Greg, it could have happened this quickly?
Quite a turnaround. It's not supposed to be able to be done that quickly.
Well, they seem to have all the pieces in place. Last year, the executive of the year in Dimitroff, the coach of the year in Smith, the rookie of the year in Ryan.
The 25th ranked defense a season ago. And they hold the Miami Dolphins to a late touchdown, force 4 turnovers today, and come away with an opening day win of 19-7.
Well, Miami does the only thing they can do, and that's go back to work. Back to the practice field, go back to work.
So our final score here in Atlanta, the Falcons 19, the Dolphins 7. For Dan Deerdorf, Greg Gumbel saying so long from Atlanta. Let's take you to James Brown in New York.
All right, Greg and Dan, and we will continue to work here, taking the viewers out to the Denver at Cincinnati ball game. Denver have been